Welcome back, everybody. Today we're picking right back up where we left off last week as we're talking to a rising star, an Australian opal in the making. She was named in the 2024-2025 as the breakout player of the year, and she recently just debuted with the Australian Opals at the Trans-Tasman Showdown. So I want to welcome the point guard, Abbey Ellis.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me today. So I think we need to give you, we need to hype our girls up. So after your junior career here in Victoria, you went to college in the States like a lot more girls, are doing now. And you attended Cal Poly from 2019 to 2021. And in your freshman year, you were named to the Big West Conference All Freshman team. Okay,
Yeah.
so good. You're averaging like 15 and a half points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 steals per game. And then during your sophomore season at Cal Poly, you earned again first team All Big West honors, again snaps, averaging again even more than you were with 15 and a half points, almost 5 rebounds and 2.5 assists per game. So from there, then you transferred to Purdue University, where you played 3 seasons there from 2021 to 2024. And again, you were a 2-time All Big Ten honorable mention. And the girls can not only play basketball, but she's a smart one too, and a 2-time academic All Big Ten honoree. And I think something that is amazing, in your 5th and final year, you led your team in points per game and you scored your 100th point for Purdue. Can you explain how that felt, scoring that point?
Yeah, it was amazing. They had a little countdown going on, like, in the crowd on some posters, and it was so cool, and I think, coach actually drew up a play at the end of the game, and she was like, "This is for you, just get your point," to get to, I think it was 1,000. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. All the girls got around me, and, I think we had another girl who also got 1,000 that year as well, so it was just fun doing it with her, and we'd gone through, 3 years together. So, yeah, it was a cool moment, and, team really got around me, and, yeah, it was good.
Oh, and it's super special, like you said, doing it with a teammate that you'd been with for 3 years, like that just does not happen often. And I think for me as well, and so many other young viewers who are wondering about college, how did you find your time over in the States?
I loved it. I think that it was a great experience for me. I think it was a good pathway for me coming out of juniors. I just knew that it was something I kind of wanted to do. I saw it, on ESPN, March Madness. I was just obsessed with it. And I'm really glad the 2 colleges I went to, I loved both of them. Leaving Cal Poly was a great decision. It was also a really hard decision. I loved it there. I loved my team, my coaches, but you do have to take that next step to challenge yourself. Going into a Big Ten with the Caitlin Clarks and all that, and that was also something that was super cool playing against her. So yeah, it was a great experience for me, and taking that 5th year as well academically, so I could get my degree, get everything sorted. But yeah, I loved it. It just suited me, but everyone's different. But yeah, I was very grateful that it worked out.
Oh, that's amazing. And what are you studying? Because I think a lot of people think, oh, basketball is just go and play ball. But as a woman and a professional, we're not quite earning that same amount, and it is so important. So, what were you studying?
I was studying early childhood education and special needs, so basically a teacher, and a special needs teacher. So yeah, did that. I had to do my full on student teaching over there, which was a great experience too. And now I'm able to come back and be a registered teacher and do a little thing here and there. But yeah, it was great getting that opportunity to be in the classroom over there as well. And that was so supportive. I think academically it was very important to get that support off the court. It can be a lot for athletes, so especially being international. But yeah, I was very grateful that I had a great support system, and my parents are send me away not just play basketball but to get that degree and come back. So yeah, I was very grateful for the opportunity I had over there.
And that's amazing. Obviously, you were supported off the court to really grow in your academics and, be the best you possibly could in that way. On the court, how do you think college helped, I guess, grow your game from going to juniors to now? It's still seniors, it's your early seniors, but where did you see can help find college grow your game?
I felt like it was very much so the opportunity to play against bigger, more athletic players. When I first got there, I was like, oop, I'm a bit behind the 8 ball. Everyone's faster and bigger and stronger, which is, usually as a freshman, that's very normal experience, a very humbling experience. So it was that, but there was also the opportunity to, go to the courts every day, have so many resources and coaches, a shooting gun at hand, right across the road. So it's like you're able to get so many opportunities to have a basketball in the hand and learn, watch film with the coaches. So I think that was something I really, took up. I was really getting to the gym as much as I could, taking care of my body, and being with the coaches all the time, getting feedback as much as I can. But yeah, each year you just learn something new as terms of in basketball. My 5th year was mainly kind of playing in front of, crowds and, how to handle certain situations. So yeah, every year was a new challenge, new players, bigger players, better players. But yeah, it was a great ride. I wouldn't change a thing.
And so, like you just said, you had your 5 seasons over there playing in college. You then come back, you sign your first WNBL contract with the Townsville Fire, and you were initially on the bench. And then after a few games, you started in that point guard role. And I just want to know, I guess, what were your initial goals for the first WNBL season? And then sort of finding, okay, now I might probably leveling up and taking that next step that maybe I wasn't necessarily thinking would happen right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could ask Shannon the same thing. The expectation was I was ready just to be kind of like that impact player coming off the bench defensively, that energy, bit of scoring, creativity, energy. And I was ready for that role. I was ready to come in and, preseason was really intense. It was in the best way possible. It was so competitive, us, the point guards, and obviously learning off Lauren Mansfield. It's just an fresh Olympian, and she's just, that seniority that she has was amazing to learn from her. But yeah, it was definitely when, some injuries happened and opportunities opened up. He had so much belief in me, and so did the team. Courtney Woods, or the older girls, they were, behind me, supporting me, saying, "You got this, kid. Like, it's nothing, nothing you can't handle." He wouldn't put you in a position that, he thought you were out of your depth for. So yeah, I felt that, everyone had my back and confident going into the games, and, with his system and with the players that we had, yeah, I felt really great out there, and yeah, just took the opportunity when I could.
Well, I was just about to ask you, and you sort of answered it with, your team and Shannon really backing you. As a competitor on the other side and also watching other WNBL games, you just played with so much confidence and aggression. And as, your first season, especially as a point guard, because, you are your general on the team on the court, you played with such authority. Is that something you think you've always had, or like each year has sort of just gotten better and bigger, and now you're like, hey, I know I've worked hard, like I've got this?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think you kind of got to have that confidence, especially at this level. Because I think, half of it's mental. You've trained your whole life. You can shoot a 3 ball, you can make a right hand layup. So it's just, having that confidence to back yourself in. And that's something that, especially as a point guard and like coming, playing more seasons in the WNBL, hopefully is just to, be that more authority figure as well, being that point guard, control the tempo, control the pace, control the court. And I think that's something I'm definitely looking to improve on. And I think Shannon knows that. And I think it's something that a point guard's really got to, have a handle on the court. But, can't complain. Had a fun season, and definitely looking forward to how next few seasons will go.
And you learnt, I'm assuming, because Shannon is one of the, smartest coaches in the league. How much did you just learn off him?
Oh my God. So like from the first session, I called my mom and I was like, did I know anything about basketball? Because all this new terminology, I was like, oh my God, I need to write these down.
Yeah,
Like,
get out the notebook with
yeah,
pen and paper.
it was so cool though. Cause you just, as an athlete, I was just so excited to be there and to learn from him. Obviously, I just knew he was such an amazing coach and a very good guard developing coach. So yeah, it was just so cool to watch him work and the way he breaks things down and then builds it up. It's just, it makes you as a player feel confident in your ability, in everything you do and everything you're learning. But yeah, definitely the preseason was a lot of information. But it literally just took it and ran with it. I think we all did. And yeah, I think the results showed this WNBL season for both the team and myself. So yeah, it's just always keep learning. There's always something new with him. There's always something new. So you always got to be, on your toes, ready to go because there's going to be a new word and you got to be like, oh, guess I need to learn that. So yeah.
Got to look that one up with the dictionary. Let's go.
Yeah.
And like you said, you did have such a successful season yourself as well as the team. Playing in finals is always such a different experience and it is another level up. It's almost just like, hey, yeah, the rest of the season was really cool. Loved it. But now the real stuff starts. I guess what were your takeaways from your first WNBL finals series?
Yeah, it was very intense. It was a lot full on. I think I learned a lot as a player, and I think we learned a lot as a team. But it was also so much fun, having a sold out crowd and play against just such top tier players. It's just so cool, and especially in that 3-game series, never played that before, and it's like wow, you're going against the same people again and again, and you know what to expect, but still it's so hard to just go out there and control everything. But yeah, it was just so cool. And I think especially in, towards the end, it was hard work paying off. Obviously not the result we wanted. However, we didn't hang our heads. We're really proud of, with such a new team and, we gelled and we bonded and it was just a fun experience. We all walked away just with our heads up and kind of ready for next season. Like, yep, we got to lose one to get one. So, it was just a lot of team camaraderie and obviously losing to a Bendigo team that was just amazing. And then getting to play against Sammy, Veronica Burton, who I just regard as one of the best guards in the whole world. So it was pretty cool to play against them. But yeah.
And after the season had finished, we had our WNBL awards night and very much deserved. You got the award, as I said earlier, of the Breakout Player of the Year. How special was that to you when, you stood up as they called your name for that award?
Oh, my heart dropped a bit. I was like, oh, here I go. I guess that, it was just so cool. I think, a lot of things led up to that. It was kind of after the award when you sit down, took the photos, kind of reminiscing about the whole journey, like all those early mornings, those tournaments your parents took to you when you were a kid. Like it was all, all kind of comes to this moment, like a full circle moment. But it was just great having my teammates there and everyone else to support. I think they were just genuinely happy to see me happy. But yeah, it was great. It was a great achievement. But I wouldn't get there without coaches and the team and just the WNBL in general, I think. So yeah, it was a great moment. But yeah, it was just so cool. And my parents were stoked. Yeah, had messaged me and obviously it posted on social media. So yeah, they were pretty happy too. So it was cute seeing them all giddied up.
Oh, it is so beautiful. And I love that you sort of said you had a full circle moment because it is. Our parents were our taxi drivers and our number one supporters for beyond years. And it's really beautiful as well. I think you were with a team where you could tell playing, you guys backed each other, you trusted each other, you were playing for one another. So I love that you had that experience and you've signed back with the Fire again for next season, as well as a fair few core players. I guess what do you want to achieve out of next season?
Oh, I think we definitely just want to get a championship. That's, a top priority. I think last season we had ourselves kind of new. And so we kind of had a bit of that low expectation of just kind of week by week make finals, just kind of going with the flow. But I think next season everyone's, hungry to get that championship. Obviously losing straight sets of Bendigo wasn't in the books. So kind of get that back. But I think it's also just developing as players and developing our chemistry will be a big thing this season. I think we all made steps individually. And I think that we're all looking to develop as players and, reach goals. And I think as a team, we can do that if we play together. So yeah, it'll just be about that, having fun, maybe tanning a bit in Townsville together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be great.
I love, right? If the sun's out, it's good. It's a good day.
Team bonding on the beach. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Just don't get eaten by a croc. That terrifies me.
Yeah, no, not going in the sea. I did not go in that ocean. I'm right here. I'm just chilling.
So now WNBL's finished now. Obviously, it's been over since March. You're playing with the Diamond Valley Eagles in the NBL 1. What is it like being back with the same team you played with last season? But obviously, you've leveled up. You've gained a few more players. I guess what's your goal for yourself and the team this season?
Oh, I think, well, the goal for the team this season, I think we definitely are going after that championship. I think we have depth and obviously have some stars in our team with Steph and Spads. But then we have some really great role players, and we obviously we have a really good bond. I think all of us are pretty local to Darwin Valley. I know I am around the corner. So, we do have that little like bond, and, some of our friendships go way back, to domestic under 12. So it's really cool to kind of just be with those players as well. But yeah, I think Dee Butler's an amazing coach. She's definitely, she's there for business. She's not there for, laughing games. She's there to train, and we practice, and everyone's bought in. But yeah, we also just kind of just want to get better as players, I think. I think NBL 1 is a great opportunity to, push yourself as a player out of your comfort zone, and then having your team, your coaches to support that. But obviously, Steph Reed's here, and I'm learning a lot. She just got here. But, she's such a person I looked up to, and now I get to play with her, which is pretty special to me. And, once we play a few more games together, I'm sure it'll be a hard force to stop. But I think this weekend, hopefully everyone's back so we can get a full team. I haven't had that all season, so hopefully that happens.
Right. It's always the case, especially when there's national team duties and people are here, there, and everywhere. But you personally are obviously playing some really great basketball at the moment. What do you really pride yourself on?
Oh, I think it's basically just taking the opportunity to be aggressive. I think that's something that NBL 1 can help provide. Doing those different type of features as a point guard. There's a bit more freedom in NBL 1, which is great. So you can be a bit more creative, and I just really want to work on that skill set of ball handling, those different type of shots that might not be able to get in the WNBL, but you can work on here. So yeah, just kind of having that freedom and just being that scoring threat. But then once the teams change, with a post player, another guard, just work on other stuff that you can't necessarily work on, like cutting hard, getting over screens, reading the roles, hook pass, gap pass, just other stuff that you just kind of you need to work on here and there, but gives you opportunity throughout a whole season. It's a long season.
Mhm.
So many games that we play, back to backs, which is great, I guess, in a way. Positive turn on that. So
Yeah, you're
yeah, just
young. Your collagen's good and strong. You've got this.
yeah. Just a little rolling, and I'll be good. But yeah, just all that good stuff about basketball. Just keep on improving every game.
And you just spoke of her name, Steph Reed. I spoke to Reedy last week, and she had nothing but praise to speak about you. And I like to say, and she said as well, your little backcourt buddies, like you're going to be little menaces on the court together. I know you've only had one game with her, but what did you just enjoy playing like with her on the court? What was your favorite thing playing together?
Oh, just her energy. She's just she's so smart in the way that she plays. Her IQ is amazing. And, she also recognizes her role and in each kind of possession. And it's just being able to be a part of that and watching that and learning as well in a game. But yeah, she's just like obviously a scoring machine, but that's actually just not all she does. She had 8 steals as well. Like she's just nonstop both ends of the court. And yeah, she's just a dog. She amazes me. And at trainings and stuff, I'm always literally in her ear asking so many questions. And yeah, I'm just attached to her hip pretty much from now on. So yeah, I'll just be learning from her. And then yeah, obviously it's great that she can get the outlet, and I'll just run my lane and ask for the ball a bit. Yeah, just some cheap ones here and there.
Vice
So that's
versa,
also good
yeah.
as well.
Well, and I think that's what I really love as a younger player. Want to be taken under the wing. She mentioned like this is your team, but she's there to help you any way she can. And I think she's great in acknowledging that. And I think you're great in wanting to be a sponge and also learn, because you've been in a similar position where you've both been at the Fire under Shannon, learning so much. Growing. And I just think that's an amazing outlook that you have mentally. So like definitely good on you for that, and like keep going. And I think this is where, again, Steph's done it. Now you've done it. So you had a late call up to the Australian Opals for their most recent camp that they had. So tell us about what that felt like when you got the call.
Oh, it was insane. It was like a Tuesday night right after NBL 1 game. And I just had like a text from Shannon. He goes, "Call me ASAP right after your game." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm off the WNBL team. Like, he hates me," or, I was,
Yeah, you're like,
you
I'm
know,
traumatized.
yeah. I was like, "Don't send a text like that," just, but yeah, I mean, called him straight away in the car park. But yeah, he just was like, he calls me his little nickname. He goes, "Listen, champ, like, you getting the call up, you deserve it." Just so excited for you. He was probably more excited than I am. He was just so stoked. And then it was just like, "Oh, cool." Like, he goes, "All right, now go pack your bags, go home, try and get some sleep," because it was like 11 p.m. because we had an 8:30 game. And I was like, "I'll try and get some sleep." But just packed my bags, came home, told my parents, I was like, "I'm gone for a few days." I mean, I was camping, they were so stoked too. But yeah, it was quick turnaround, and then off I went to the State Basketball Center. And obviously I knew Woody was going to be there at Fowler, so that comforted me a bit, just having a few familiar faces.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was literally a whirlwind. I think that was 72 hours of just, I'm there, just every moment, every endure, just take it in and just, try my best. So yeah, and then everyone was great. All the older girls especially were very welcoming, big hugs, big congrats. Sandy and Guz and all that, big hugs, like big happy to see me. And yeah, it was a lot of new faces, but I was like so excited to be there.
So you now have had your first experience, obviously super exciting, definitely deserving. And then, okay, the Trans Tasman Showdown squad gets named. Your name is on that squad to go play, represent the green and gold. Did you expect to see your name in that squad?
Um, I knew there was a chance. But you just never know. And I think there was a few. Obviously, the WNBA players are gone. A few injuries here and there, but definitely, didn't know what was really going on from after the camp. I was like, all right, I'll sit tight and run a few of the holiday camps. Because obviously it was like school holidays, and then just one day just got a missed call from Sandy, and I'm like, oh my God, let me call her back real quick. I can't believe I missed her call. But yeah, it was just like hearing those words, like getting to represent the green and gold on home soil. It's like my little kid was screaming inside of me. I was just skipping up and down the court. So yeah, it was a pretty cool moment. But yeah, I was just super excited, and she reassured me that this was a great opportunity. And hopefully, it's a great experience, and just take it all in as much as I can. So yeah, it was really cool moment. Like another full circle moment. I think every kid dreams of that when they first did pick up a basketball. But yeah, it was a reality, and it was pretty cool.
And how was it? Like you said, you've put on your green and gold uniform, you've been presented it, and then you actually step out on the court the first time as an Opal. Let's go. Run us through it. What were the feelings? Was like your
Oh,
heart in your stomach and your stomach in your throat?
yeah, it was. I was literally, I think I was like, my legs wouldn't stop shaking on the bench. I was doing that little jitter. I was just so excited to be there. I think the real moment that got me was like kind of doing the anthem at the start. I was like, oh my God, this is just so real. Kind of just, you're singing, you're listening to it's a bit of a different experience now. You're actually representing your country and, everyone that plays basketball in the country. So it's pretty cool. But again, on the court, I honestly just was like
Mhm.
lock into what I need to do defensively, offensively. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then, going on, and I think I got a layup, and I was like, don't smile, because I was just so excited. I was so nervous. I was like, oh, I went for the drive. I was like, oh, it's opening up. All right, I guess I'll shoot the layup. And I just tried not to smile. But yeah, that was a pretty cool moment too. I think that eased the nerves a bit as well. But yeah, it was just super cool. And obviously, I like the coaches, we had a few trainings before that, and they were great with like reassuring, believing, repping. So yeah, felt on the court and, watching the game for a bit. I was able to just be ready mentally, just go out and just, try my best.
And you also had a few familiar faces, like you mentioned before, in Alex Fowler and Courtney Woods from the Fire. I guess what was it like just being together also with them, knowing how hard they had worked to get there too?
Yeah, I think it was a super cool experience. Being with those girls, well, kind of all new to the Fires, and we didn't really know who we were before we came. Um, just it was so cool just to watch everyone's kind of hard work and such a great season just kind of had that little payoff. I think that's a great, a reward for all the work, especially with, Alex and Woody. They two of the hardest workers in the team. Just such great people as well. I think that's something that's a bit overlooked. Like Woody was an amazing, amazing captain, and Alex is just an amazing person. So it was just great to be with them. And then also, behind closed doors, just to be able to, bounce off them and just, you can just be a bit more comfortable, be a bit more relaxed, be able to talk to each other, which was a really nice outlet. But yeah, it was just super cool. And yeah, we were just, especially me and Alex, we're young and just so geeked to be there. We were just teasing the whole time, the whole week. So yeah, we were just happy to be there. And it was a great group of girls. And, like all the girls were amazing and we really bonded as a team on and off the court. But yeah, it was just a cool experience the whole week.
And so now after all this, you've been in the WNBL, so you've been playing basketball here in Australia and in the NBL 1. You've now sort of experienced that overseas international gameplay. Now, I guess, gaining all this knowledge and experience, what do you want to add to your game?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think honestly,
or hone in on if that's too hard. Like,
I was like so much to improve on.
I know. No.
So much. So much feedback. Okay, hone in's a better word. I think honestly, it's I think basically based on that. I think the WNBL season has been that consistent point guard role throughout the whole game. I felt like just as you said, coming into a role. Each game was different and presented different challenges, and I think next season being ready for those challenges from the get-go, from the jump ball, and adapting to the game styles. Every game's different. I think that's something as a point guard, not only for yourself to adjust, but you're the leader of the team as well. So make sure everyone else is there with you and knows the game plan, and if there's a change in the game plan, let everyone know. So I think being that authority, but also being having that IQ to recognize that it's not just the coach isn't playing the game, you are. So recognizing that as a point guard. So yeah, I think just, being a bit more aware and consistent throughout the WNBL season. But, then I got Steph right here. So she's like one of the best at that. So yeah, she's always giving me pointers and all that, taking control of the game. So yeah, that's something I'm honing in on the next WNBL season.
And like, I'm sure it's been such a whirlwind, but having a conversation like this and thinking, oh, wow, like my senior career, I know it hasn't been that long, but where you started, at college in the States to WNBL to the Opals, did you expect to be in the position you are like right now?
Absolutely not. A year ago I was still in Indiana. I was still in the country, graduating. So I think, it's been a crazy, year. WNBL was a goal of mine, and I'm so grateful they ended up the way it did. But yeah, everything else, I think, it's just opportunity after opportunity. You just got to take them and, take them in your stride. Very grateful and very blessed, and I know that. And yeah, you just kind of got to keep on taking those opportunities. And yeah, I think a year ago I wouldn't have believed this would happen, but I think kudos to the support system and coaches and teams. So yeah, very, very grateful.
Well, I think you should be super proud of yourself, and just like chatting with you today, I've loved getting to know you more. And I think your mindset is something that is definitely going to like help grow your game and level you up. And I can't wait to see what you do, but not against me. You can have a bad one that game, okay?
I'll just be chill. I'll just stand in the corner for you.
But no, I can't wait to see what you do next. You should be super proud of yourself. It's been an amazing achievement what you've done in this, even just last 12 months. So thanks so much for chatting with me today, Abbey.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, anytime.
But also a big thanks for you joining me today, team. Make sure you tune in next week as we talk things basketball around the globe, especially the WNBA. It's been juicy. It's a Cole world.